Welcome to our deep dive today. We're going to be talking about AI.
Okay.
And we've got some really interesting material to work with today.
Yeah.
We've got an article called In the Age of AI, How Do We Live Inside Our Power by Chandra Mast.
Interesting.
And we also have the website for Red Rose Appraisals.
Okay.
And at first glance, they might seem kind of worlds apart.
Yeah.
But I think by the end of this, you'll see that these two sources offer some really interesting perspectives
Okay.
on how we can navigate this AI-driven world.
Yeah. That core tension that Mast highlights in her article, I think, is incredibly relevant. Like AI is promising to simplify our lives,
Right.
but it's often leaving us feeling more like puppets,
Yeah.
controlled by algorithms.
Yeah, it's like being on autopilot, but instead of us being in control, it's the algorithms making the decisions.
Right.
Mast really nails this in her article, doesn't she?
Absolutely. And she doesn't just point out the problem. She offers solutions, encouraging us to become aware of how these algorithms are shaping our online experience.
Right.
Think about the recommendations you see on social media or shopping sites. These aren't random. They're generated by complex algorithms designed to keep us engaged,
Okay.
often by feeding us content that aligns with our existing biases.
Okay, so awareness is the first step, but what do we do with that awareness? Like, how do we actually start reclaiming some control?
Well, Mast suggests a digital cleanse.
Yep.
It's not about ditching technology altogether.
Right.
It's about making intentional choices about the content we consume and the platforms that we engage with.
Okay.
Imagine unfollowing accounts that trigger negative emotions or disabling those incessant notifications. The ones that pull you back into that endless scroll.
So it's like spring cleaning for your digital life, decluttering the noise,
Yeah.
and making space for what truly matters.
Exactly. And that's where Red Rose Appraisals, surprisingly, offers a compelling real-world example.
Okay.
Instead of being swept up in this vast sea of online data.
Right.
They've chosen a specialized niche, property valuation, and they're using AI to enhance their expertise,
Okay.
not to replace human judgment.
It's refreshing to see a company using AI in such a focused and ethical way. But how does it actually work? Like, what's happening behind the scenes when Red Rose Appraisals uses AI for valuations?
Well, they leverage machine learning algorithms to sift through tons of data, taking into account, factors like location, property size, recent sales, and even hyperlocal market trends.
Right.
The AI identifies patterns and provides insights that would be nearly impossible for humans to uncover manually.
So it's not just about replacing human appraisers, it's about giving them a powerful tool to make more informed decisions.
Precisely. And this ties back to Mast's call for intentional engagement. Red Rose Appraisals isn't just letting the algorithm spit out a number.
Right.
They're using it to deepen their understanding of the market and to provide clients with accurate and transparent valuations. There's a clear purpose behind their use of AI, and that makes all the difference.
It's interesting how a company specializing in something as tangible as property valuation can provide insights into navigating the often intangible world of AI.
Yeah. And it gets even more interesting when you dig a little deeper. Did you notice that the author of the article, Chandra Mast, is actually Red Rose Appraisal's certified general appraiser?
Wait, really? That's fascinating. So she's not just writing about these ideas, she's living them out in her professional life.
Exactly. And that connection adds a whole new layer to this discussion.
Right.
It's no longer just about abstract philosophical concepts.
Right.
It's about how those concepts are being applied in the real world by someone who is grappling with the complexities of AI firsthand.
This is already making me rethink my own relationship with technology. What starts as a simple article about AI suddenly turns into a real-life example of how someone is taking control and using this powerful tool in a way that feels both ethical and empowering.
It's a powerful reminder. We're not just passive observers in this whole AI revolution.
Right.
We have a choice in how we engage with these technologies and shape their impact on our lives.
It's like Mast is walking the walk, not just talking the talk. That really adds weight to her arguments, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It's one thing to theorize about digital authenticity and intentional engagement,
All right.
but it's quite another to see it in action. And this brings us to another critical point that Mast raises.
Okay.
The potential for AI to create echo chambers
Uh-huh.
and deepen societal divides.
Right. The algorithms are designed to feed us more of what we already agree with, making it harder to encounter different perspectives.
Exactly.
Or engage in meaningful dialogue with those who hold opposing views.
It's like being trapped in a filter bubble, where your online experience becomes increasingly tailored to your existing beliefs
Yeah.
and biases,
Yeah.
and this can lead to a distorted view of reality
Right.
and make it difficult to bridge divides or find common ground.
And that's a pretty frightening prospect, especially in a world that already feels so polarized. So, how do we break out of these echo chambers? How do we use AI to foster empathy and understanding
Yeah.
rather than division and distrust?
Mast suggests that we need to be more proactive in seeking out diverse perspectives. So don't just passively consume the content that's served up to you.
Right.
Actively seek out information that challenges your assumptions and exposes you to different viewpoints.
So, step outside of our comfort zones and engage with ideas that might make us uncomfortable.
Precisely. And
Oh,
again, Red Rose Appraisals offers an interesting parallel here.
okay.
Their success hinges on understanding the nuances of local markets and the diverse needs of their clients. They can't rely on a one-size-fits-all approach.
Right.
They have to consider individual contexts, community dynamics, and a whole host of factors that go beyond simple algorithms.
It's like they're using AI to zoom in on the details, but they're also stepping back to see the bigger picture, like the human stories behind the data points.
Yes, and that human-centric approach is crucial. It's a reminder that technology should serve us, not the other way around. We need to be mindful of the potential pitfalls,
Yeah.
like echo chambers and algorithmic bias.
Mhm.
But we also need to be open to the possibilities, to the ways that AI can help us connect more deeply with each other and the world around us.
This whole conversation is making me rethink my own approach to technology. I find myself wondering, am I using these tools to expand my horizons or just reinforcing my existing beliefs?
Right.
Am I truly engaging with the world or just getting lost in the digital noise?
These are questions we all need to be asking ourselves, and I think the answers will be different for everyone. The key is to be aware,
Right.
to be intentional,
Yeah.
and to remember that we have the power to shape the future of AI.
Yeah.
We're not just along for the ride.
So what does it actually look like to live inside our power in this age of AI?
Yeah.
Mast's article offers some compelling strategies, but how do we translate those ideas into concrete actions?
Well, the digital cleanse we discussed earlier is a great starting point. It's about decluttering our digital lives, unfollowing those accounts that drain our energy or trigger negative emotions, and being more mindful of the information we allow into our mental space.
So it's like taking back control of our attention, deciding what we want to focus on rather than letting the algorithms dictate our every click and scroll.
Exactly. And beyond that, it's about setting boundaries with technology, carving out time for activities that don't involve screens,
Right.
whether it's reading a book, spending time in nature, having a face-to-face conversation with a friend, or simply allowing ourselves to be bored.
Right. It's like giving our brains a chance to breathe,
Yeah.
to disconnect from the constant stimulation and reconnect with ourselves
Yeah.
and the world around us.
And in doing so, we might just rediscover what it means to live authentically
Yeah.
and powerfully in a world that's increasingly shaped by artificial intelligence.
It feels like we're kind of at a crossroads, right? On the one hand, there's this fear of being overwhelmed by AI, of losing control to these algorithms
Yeah.
that seem to know us better than we know ourselves. But then on the other hand, there's this incredible potential for AI
Right?
to help us solve some of the world's biggest challenges and create a more just and equitable society.
Absolutely. And I think that's what makes this conversation so compelling. We're not just talking about technology, right? We're talking about what it means to be human in this world that's rapidly changing. And Mast's article and the work that Red Rose Appraisals is doing, I think, offers a glimpse into how we can navigate this new terrain
Right.
and use AI as a tool for empowerment
Right.
rather than disempowerment.
So it's not about rejecting technology altogether. It's about approaching it with intentionality,
Right.
awareness, and a healthy dose of skepticism.
Precisely. We need to be critical thinkers, questioning the assumptions that are baked into these algorithms
Right.
and demanding transparency from the companies that develop and deploy them. We can't just blindly accept the recommendations or predictions that these AI systems spit out.
Yeah.
We need to engage with them actively, understand their limitations, and potential biases.
It's like we need to become AI whisperers, learning to communicate with these systems,
Yeah.
understanding their language, and guiding them toward ethical and beneficial outcomes.
That's a great analogy. It brings to mind another important point that Mass touches on, the need for digital literacy.
Okay.
We need to educate ourselves and future generations about how AI works, its potential benefits and risks,
Yeah.
and how to use it responsibly.
Right.
This isn't just about technical skills, it's about developing a critical mindset
Yeah.
and a sense of agency in the digital world.
It's like we need to equip ourselves with a whole new set of tools
Yeah.
and perspectives to navigate this increasingly complex landscape. It's both exciting and a little daunting, wouldn't you say?
It certainly is, but I think it's also an incredible opportunity to redefine what it means to be human in the 21st century. As AI becomes more sophisticated, it forces us to confront, I think, some fundamental questions about consciousness, free will, the nature of intelligence itself.
It's like AI is holding up a mirror to humanity, challenging us to examine our own values and beliefs, and consider what truly sets us apart from machines.
And in that reflection, we might just discover new depths of creativity, empathy, resilience.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought. If AI is increasingly being used to predict and shape human behavior, what does it mean to be truly in control of our choices? What new skills and mindsets do we need to cultivate in order to thrive in a world where algorithms may know us much than we know ourselves?
That's a profound question, and one that we'll likely be grappling with for years to come. But I believe that the key lies in cultivating self-awareness, critical thinking, and a deep understanding of our own values and motivations. Only then can we use AI as a tool to enhance our lives rather than diminish our humanity.
Thank you for joining us on this journey into the heart of AI. We hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and empowered you to navigate this rapidly evolving landscape with intentionality and wisdom.